Portable electronic devices are now revolutionizing the world. We are able to complete complex tasks so conveniently like never before. However, with the rise of this technology also comes the consequences to our health. Using these devices require our eyes to focus on the screen extensively, especially in an environment where the screen is shaking, like when we are commuting. This can cause many eye problems ranging from minor eye strain, motion sickness, up to severe blurred vision. According to the statistics, people around the world spend approximately 1.5 hours per day commuting in cars, trains, or buses. For this valuable period of time, the commuters are unable to use their device comfortably. Introducing Wholdstill, a software application that can change your experience with your electronic devices during your journey forever. Wholdstill measures the relative motion between you and your device using face tracking with the device front-facing camera. It then calculates and outputs the appropriate display compensation distance that will make your screen appear steady to you, eliminating all health-related problems and increasing your productivity. This means the display will always be steady according to your eyes. As the program operates, it continually tracks changes in motion, ensuring your smoothest experience using your device while you commute.
For now, there are many solutions proposed to cope with the problem, but all of them are only able to compensate with the shaking of the device. The existing solution can be mainly divided into two categories, the hardware and the software. For the hardware, one of the examples is this Mobotron screen stabilizer. The stabilizer provides support and stability for electronic devices on caused by fastening them to the vehicle. The other one of the existing products is a software similar to our products but uses the gyroscope to track the device. The software is called the X Screen Stabilizer. The software will track the motion relative to the Earth. The software tracks the acceleration motion of the device from the gyroscope and calculates and outputs the compensation motion that the display has to make. However, the software still tracks only the motion of the device relative to the Earth, which means that the output content will only compensate with the motion of the device and not the motion of the user. As a result, the value would not be accurately calculated for the user like Wholdstill. As you can see in these three presenting columns, the first one is without any stabilizer. The second one, or the middle one, is the one with the existing solution, which compensating only to the device movement. You can see that when the user's head is moving, the result doesn't really improve from the one without the stabilizer. And the last one, or the right one, is the Wholdstill's, with our software compensating to both the movements of the device and the user, resulting in the best solution and the display for the user.
Now, let's look into the algorithm of the programs. Let's start for the input part, which is the image taken. However, the size of an object cannot be projected precisely on an image. Take these two identical bottles as an example. When one of it is put at further distance, it will appear smaller, while the other is placed at nearer point will appear larger. Unfortunately, this is how camera take in information, which means that lens cannot be taken directly from an image. In the same way, movement distance also could not be found. To solve this problem, the user of the program needs to do a one-time adjustment, which can be done by moving their face around on the screen a certain distance. The program will keep the size of user facial features and use as a reference frame. Still, the sensitivity can be set manually in our program. After this, the value is ready to use for calculation. In most situations, like in car or bus, the movement only includes transition in 3 axes: in and out from screen, left to right, and up and down. The program will compare the distance of user from screen to reference image to find whether if the user stands closer or further, and later use the ratio to calculate movement in order to axes.
To survive in the world of business, this is our plan. First, go viral. Since Wholdstill is a newcomer for the users, launching the program for free is acceptable. We'll promote to social media platforms, helping it become a well-known application. Approximately a few months, we expect 50,000 downloads and receive a passive income from the advertisement. Before we reach this step, the whole funding source of Wholdstill will be support from kvis and Wholdstill for developing our software and promoting the software to society. Required budget is around $6,000. However, the next step of our extension relies on the feedback from step 1. We have to make sure that the program has been advertised widely. Trust in this phase, we gather the investment from various ways. For example, crowdfunding, R&D grants, or private funding and venture capital companies. Those our investment will be used for advertising as the main part, and the rest will be utilized from the feedback.
Our target of this step is to sell the license to the companies that have received their benefits from us. Our expectations are Google Maps, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook according to the most popular social media application in 2020. More popular the software is, the easier it can be sold to the companies. The last step will be executed after launching the program for 2 years. And we expect that people will be familiar with Wholdstill. We will contact smartphone manufacturers for selling our software. Just to be clear, this step is not only benefit for us, but the company also, because the clients would be love to have Wholdstill inside their operating system immediately after they buy a new phone. It's a win-win situation. Wholdstill team composing of Ham as Chief Executive Officer, Otto as Chief Operating Officer, Future as Chief Financial Officer, Bet as Chief Marketing Officer, and PARM as Chief Technological Officer.